She's like, no, how do you feel with the Balenciaga? I said, what? She's like, yeah, the bag. You're carrying a Balenciaga. How do you feel with the bag? It's about to be New Year's, and I don't know when I'm gonna post this video, but just in case I do not see y'all before this video goes up, I do want to take this time to thank each and every one of y'all for y'all unwavering support and kindness throughout the year. And if you wasn't kind, I'm joking, because on a real level, y'all have been super kind, super sweet throughout this year. I got an opportunity to meet a lot of y'all and really connect with y'all, so I'm just forever grateful for that. And I'm just hoping 2025 is just a prosperous year for y'all. I pray growth in all aspects of y'all life. And yeah, I'm just wishing you and your family a happy New Year's. And let's go ahead and get to the video, girl. But yeah, I just didn't want to hop on here and just start talking, and it might be 2025 by the time y'all see this, but just in case it's not, I'm wishing y'all well now. That's how the video, your girl is back again with another story time. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even have to say anything, because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on what, that's on a period. And Mary had a little lamb. I'm in a really good mood today, so yeah, we with it with part 3. Y'all seen the title. In today's video, I'm gonna be doing part 3 to the Wars series. A lot of y'all are like, Asia, could you give us like 3-hour series? And it's just like, girl, let's be for real. The amount of stuff that transpired, I could not tell it all in one setting. Like, I would literally be talking for 12 hours if I gave y'all this series all at one time. So I really do have to break it up, and it's a lot to remember. I'm not gonna hold y'all, a lot happened. So in my previous story time, I think we last left off at me telling y'all that, what happened? Oh, she told me that she's been watching me since she was 16. Mind you, I haven't been on the platform for that long. I believe I started being on YouTube more seriously and posting more consistently back in 2019. And this took place back in, was it 2024? Yeah, I went to Bali this year, y'all. That was 2024. So this took place literally 3 years ago. I don't know, like the math wasn't mathing that you had been watching me for since she was 16, because I told y'all at the time I believe she was 23 years old. So that means I would have had to been on this platform for almost like 8 to 9 to 10 years in order for you to really be keeping up with me for that long. But again, y'all, when she said that, I was very taken back, because like I said, at the beginning of this in February, when you shot your friend shot, the initial message and the initial consensus was that you never knew me. You were asking me questions about my business. You were already in the travel industry, and you was looking for a business partner and also a friend that like was like-minded and that had something going on. And then the closer and closer we got to the trip, the lies started coming out. And a lot of y'all was asking me like, Asia, why didn't you just cut her loose before it even got to that point? Y'all have to keep in mind that everybody, the everyday person, is not going to be able to, I can't call somebody within 3 weeks of a trip and say, hey, can you fly to Indonesia with me for 2 weeks to help me co-host one of my business trips? Like, I have friends, but my friends, they have jobs, people have things to do, people have kids. You can't just throw that type of information on somebody last minute. So at the point where I kind of felt like uncanny and uneasy, and I kind of felt like overwhelmed, like this was not going to be a good idea to have her co-host the trip with me, it was already too late. Like, it was already at a point of no return, y'all. It was just like, let's just see what happened, y'all. So mind you, we're at my house. She's at my house for the first time. This is our first time meeting. She's telling me how it was so real. She's been supporting me forever. And you know, I'm a very appreciative of that. I'm like, thank you, girl, for supporting me. And we just talking or whatever. I'm trying to make the situation not feel weird, but y'all, I felt very uncomfortable, because it's just like, it's like the closer and closer you get to me, I just start finding out new information. And I do have to back up, because I was talking to my my homegirl online and I completely forgot this, y'all. Do y'all remember in series 1? Also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. It's your first time seeing my face. Subscribe. And y'all, do y'all like my hair? It's like, I did these little bantu knots, and I didn't think I was gonna eat this style up, but I'm really feeling this look right here. I don't got nowhere to go, but I feel like I need to go somewhere now, just because I look like I'm put together. But anyway, back to what I was saying, y'all. Remember in part 1 when I told y'all it was this person that had wrote me, and basically they wanted to promote their what was it, same-day passport business on my travel page. Remember what y'all remember that when I said somebody just reached out to me? This is before I really started my business. I think I had just created a business page, and y'all know how, like, on Instagram has those highlights. They wanted to promote their business in one of my highlights because a lot of people in this group chat I was in, they were expressing like, hey Asia, I would love to go on a trip, but girl, I don't got no passport. I'm working on getting a passport. So she's seen an opportunity. She's an opportunist, y'all. She's seen an opportunity. Was like, oh, I can promote my business to them and let them know, hey, I'm a travel agent and I also do same-day passports. Mind you, y'all, all of this was a lie. She didn't have no travel agent credentials. Prior to the trip, she told me she was going to be my videographer and photographer for the trip. Literally, remember I told y'all she told me that she lost her job. When she lost her job, she said, I have about $5,000 worth of tech equipment in my Amazon cart. I'm not going to be able to order it anymore because I don't have, like, I don't have the funds. Like, I'm going to have to, like, cut my budget in half for this trip. And again, you are going on a trip and getting paid. You're getting paid. And when I say paid, she's not physically getting money. Stuff just keep popping up as I talk, y'all. We're gonna have to take this all the way back. When I say getting paid, she's not physically getting money in her hand, but her entire trip was paid for minus her flight. And anytime we go on these business trips, I do have a budget and money needs to be spent while we're out there when it comes to like transportation and excursions and all of that stuff. All of that stuff is already paid for in advance. But I was going to Bali a week early before the girls came because I like to have my own little vacation before the vacation starts. And also I wanted to get acquainted with her. I wanted to get to know her a little more and to see how we work together before I bring her on with my business. Excuse the way I look. I'm in bed right now, but y'all, I have to add this in here. I forgot to even mention this. Prior to the trip, I started to find out, I've been told y'all the money situation was not adding up. I asked y'all in my last video if it made sense that she was bringing in that much money and then you got fired and all of a sudden you asking me to spot you a flight. Like, it wasn't adding up. But then it started to not even add up more because prior to that, y'all, a few days before the trip, I told her that I was going to give her $1,000. This $1,000 was solely supposed to be used for any food and maybe transportation that she needed. Prior to the trip, we had a week in Bali, and that week in Bali, nothing was paid for in advance. We were kind of just going with the flow. We created our own itinerary, and during this time, I told her I was going to give her $1,000, but if you do the conversion, y'all, $1,000 USD is over $1 million in Indonesia rupiah. That's a lot of money. Bali is really cheap. You don't even need that much money. But I was just saying I was going to give it to her just because it was in the budget. And this is not money for her to spend on her leisure. This is not money for her to go shopping with or do anything like that. This is money for things that she needs to complete the trip. And mind you, she was with me, so I was pretty much paying for everything. But if I wasn't around, I didn't want her to have to wait on me. If she needed to call herself for Uber or a ride, or she wanted to order something to eat, that was what the money was for prior to the trip. But then I realized that probably was too much money. So then I told her I was going to give her $600. But a few days before the trip, she brings it up about the money because I told her I was going to give her the money once she arrived at my apartment because I already had it in cash, y'all. But a few days before she arrived, she was just like, oh, if I have any leftover money, what am I supposed to do with it? What? If you have any leftover money, common sense would have told you to give me back my money. But since it's not so common in her head, y'all. So I was just like, what? Like, what type of question is that to ask? I have gave my business partners in the past money, and they know if they have any money left over to give me the money at the end of the trip. But no, y'all, before the trip even started, she was like, if I have any money left over, am I allowed to keep the money? That's what she asked. You're not getting paid for the trip. You're getting paid in a free vacation and you're working. This is a work trip. Like, yeah, I had to add that in here. So later when I tell y'all what happened, then it'll kind of make sense because the signs was already there. And no, y'all, for y'all that's asking, did I give her the no? I never put the money in her hand because I realized that you asking that question and I don't trust you with money. We're going back to where I was at, y'all. One day we're on the phone, and I want to say this is like a few weeks before the trip, and she's always asking very like weird and unsolicited questions. Like, we could be talking about I could be teaching her on like scenarios and how to set up something, and then she'll just ask like a random question. At this particular day, we're just on the phone, and she's just like, you ever had like a problem with like a business partner or anything? I'm like, no, but there was this one time a few weeks ago when I first started Travel Babes, somebody reached out to me asking me, can I put something on my Instagram in my highlights? And I told them no, and then they like deleted me, like unfollowed me on Instagram, and then a few weeks later they followed me back, and I thought that was weird. Y'all not gonna believe what homegirl said. Homegirl was just like, oh really? Because I do same day passports, and I actually reached out to you on my other page and asked if you can post something in your bio on Instagram. And I'm trying to backpedal, y'all, because it's all connecting. It's like, I'm like, oh shit, this is the same person that unfollowed me off another account. She has multiple accounts, y'all. As the stories go on, y'all gonna realize the girl has like 5 Instagram accounts with completely different names. Like, if you on my Patreon, I'm gonna put the Instagram's accounts that she has, but she has like 5 different Instagram's accounts, and it's really hard to keep up with stuff like that. So when that page initially messaged me, I didn't go and look for the person's real name. I just see the Instagram account name. I never connected that was Warris. I never connected those two because the Instagram names were 2 different people, y'all. So when I hear her say that, I'm trying to backpedal, because at this point we're already set to go on this trip together, and we're set to be working close with each other. So I'm like, oh shit, that was you? That's weird. But instead of me saying that, I was just like, I tried to backpedal, y'all. So I was just like, oh no, a few people reached out about same day passports. I doubt that was you. And she was like, oh, when was this? I was like, oh, this was before I really even had followers on my business account. I probably had like maybe 3 or 4 followers, and they reached out. And she was just like, oh, I messaged you around that time, but I wasn't trying to come off as weird. So y'all, I'm trying to backpedal my way out of it and be like, no, that wasn't you or whatever. But y'all, the whole time it was her. Even that, I went to my business partner and I consulted with him, and I'm like, you remember that person that I told you that I asked you about them promoting on our page? Did you think it was a good idea? They was just like, no, we don't know what they doing. You could be lying to people saying that their grandma died and they need a same day passport by tomorrow, and doing all types of illegal stuff, or submitting all types of fraudulent documents to get people same day passports, and then when something go wrong, they gonna be coming to me like, Asia, what happened with? And it's just like, I don't have anything to do with that. So my business partner was like, yeah, I do remember that person. I said, that person is Warris. That is her. That is her. So he's like, that's not her. I'm like, that was her, and I never knew that was her, y'all. That was another red flag. Another thing that I forgot to mention in the previous story time before we even got to my house, on the day that she was flying out, I bought her flight for her to fly into Houston so we can fly out to Indonesia together. On that day, y'all, she texted me. I know the day before that, y'all, she called me, and she was just like, hey, I was looking up my baggage stuff for my flight tomorrow to check in, and it says that my duffel bag is not going to be included. I don't want to be charged for that, or I don't want to have to put my luxury bag underneath the plane. So I was just like, they're flying, I believe she was flying United Airways, or maybe it was American, y'all. I can't recall right now, but she was flying either one of those airlines, and I flew with them a few times, and I fly a lot, so I know like the bag policies and stuff like that. So I was just like, oh no, girl, you're gonna be good. I paid for your bag. I paid for you get a free carry-on, and then I paid for your check bag. You're gonna be good. And she's like, oh, well, I called the airline, and the airline said that with the type of ticket that I got, I'm not gonna be able to fly with this airline. I'm not gonna be able to fly with my duffel bag. They're gonna try to make me put it under the plane. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, when you get to the airport, if they do try to tell you to put your duffel under the plane, or they say that you can't bring your duffel, go ahead and pay for the bag, and I'll reimburse you. Because mind you, y'all, this is a business trip. As my business partner, I'm literally covering everything for her minus her initial flight to Bali. Keep that in mind. So she starts to get mad, combative, mad, like passive aggressive, and she's just like, I'm gonna be really upset. I'm gonna look if I can find the screenshots, y'all, and put it on here for my Patreon members. But she was just like, I'm gonna be really upset if I get to the airport and they tell me I have to put my expensive Louis Vuitton bag underneath the plane, like I'm gonna be pissed off. And I said, I'm not upgrading your a ticket, because in my impression, y'all, she was making me feel like she wanted me to upgrade her to business or first class so her bag can be included, when I have flown United and American Airlines plenty of time before, and I know that the bag is included. I paid for your bag. Your bag is included. But anyway, she's like, I'm gonna be very upset if I have to pay for my bag. So I'm like, well, you can do what you want with your money. If you want to upgrade to business to make sure your bag is included so you don't have any issues at the airport, that's fine. But that's not what I'm doing. And then she goes on to say, I would take a non-luxury bag and I would ask my boyfriend, but unfortunately, because I lost my job, I don't have any extra money to go purchase a bag. And at this point, y'all, I'm like reading the message and I'm in awe, because it's like, how are you trying to gaslight me? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why would you be carrying around a $1,000 plus bag and then telling me that you can't afford to buy a non-luxury bag just in case they put it underneath the plane? Mind you, I was never insinuating or telling her that she needed to put her bag underneath the plane. Like, I'm not even that type of person. So at this point, she thinks that I'm telling her that she needs to put her bag underneath the plane if they try to make her pay for it. So she was like, hey, are you busy? Can you call me? I'm like, yeah, I'm free. So she calls me, she re-explains the whole thing, and I said, I'm comprehensive. I understand everything that you're saying. I said that you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to upgrade your flight to business class to get that bag. So she was trying to make me upgrade her flight, y'all, to business class just so she can secure her bag, make sure her bag was able to go on her. Because the ticket that I bought her, she was flying, it was a 2-hour flight from I think Virginia to Houston. It was a 2-hour economy flight, y'all, on American and and at this point, a lot of holes started to come about in her story as well, because I'm just like, dang, for a person that flies a lot, why, or you travel a lot, why didn't you know about the baggage claim? Like, why didn't you know? Like, if they do try to tell you, they would never tell you that you have to put a duffel bag underneath the plane. A duffel bag, I can see a big oversized bag, but a person that flies a lot, why would you say this? If y'all remember in part 1, she said that she travels a lot. She puts on social media that she travels a lot. She travels for a living, but y'all remember, she's a trucker. So when she's telling people that she travels a lot and she travels for a living, you're a trucker. You dropping off loads to different states and different areas does not count as you traveling. You're dropping off a load somewhere. How is that the same thing as you traveling? This girl is diabolical. That's like, I'm not even gonna go there, y'all.
Actually, I am. That's like me being a driver for Uber Eats or DoorDash and hopping on social media and saying, oh, I done traveled to every city all around Texas. I done been everywhere around Texas. I know my way around the city. I'm basically from here. No, you're at work. You're at work.
At this moment, while I'm on the phone with her, she apologizes to me and she was like, oh, sorry if I came out as rude. I thought you were the type of person to tell me that I need to put my duffel underneath the plane. I'm like, no, I'm not that type of person. If I'm carrying a $1,000+ luxury bag, no, I'm not putting my bag underneath the plane. Y'all already know how a lot of people at airlines are. They target certain type of bags. If they see or know that it's an expensive bag, your stuff is more likely to be broken into. So I would never try to like tell somebody to put, you know, that's not my prerogative. That's not my MO. I'm not the type of person. I would never try to tell you to put your stuff on the plane. So this is literally the day before she's about to fly out. That was another little incident that happened. And I peeped that she was like being mad, combative, mad, passive aggressive, because she kept pressing it. She was just like, okay, if I have to put my bag underneath the plane, it would be no problem. And then her next message after that was like, if I have to put my bag underneath the plane at the airport, it's going to be a problem. And it's just like, a person that flies frequently, you would know that they can't force you to put a duffel bag underneath the plane. For the people that's on my Patreon, I'm going to post a picture right here of the bag that we're talking about in question. Fast forward back to where we were at my last story time, y'all. So I just found out that that person from the person that unfollowed me, then followed me, that was one of her accounts. She has many accounts. And then 2, I'm just starting to figure out that when she don't get her way, she starts to become like passive aggressive. Because I wasn't upgrading her ticket. I'm not even flying business. Why would I upgrade your ticket to business for you to do a 2-hour flight? If that's what you do and that's your norm, then go ahead and upgrade yourself and I'll pay the difference. But I'm not paying for a business ticket for a 2-hour flight. Fast forward to her arriving. Like I told y'all, we're at the point where she's in my kitchen and she's kind of walking around my apartment and she's just like, oh my gosh, like this feels so surreal. I can't believe we're finally meeting after all of this. And I'm just like, you know, telling her like I appreciate her support and like I'm excited. We about to have a good trip. Before I go on any trips, y'all, I pray. We had a 24-hour flight. We had a very long flight ahead of us and we barely had a break. Like I think my layover was in Manchester. I think my layover was in Manchester and it was like an hour. It was literally us getting off the plane and getting back on the plane. So I was just praying because I had never been in one setting. Like before, when I went on my longer trips, I had a layover for like 7 hours, so I had time to get off, to eat, stretch my feet, decompose. But this trip was basically us in the air for 24 hours. So I'm in my kitchen. We had called our Uber and I'm like, let's go ahead and pray before we depart. So I'm praying and I don't recall everything I said in this prayer, but I'm just asking God to cover us, cover anybody around us, cover the pilot. I'm just praying, y'all. And at the end of my prayer, I say something along the lines of, thank you, God. Just showing him gratitude and saying thank you, God, for this opportunity. I wouldn't dream in a million years that I'll be, you know, going to Bali this soon, because Bali was like my Bali and Maldives and one other place was like my honeymoon spots. Like these are places I wanted to honeymoon when I get married. I didn't expect to be going to Bali, you know, this early or whatever. So I'm just praying to God, asking God to continue to bless us and watch us during our travels. And at the end of it, I'm just like, you know, showing gratitude, y'all. And when I look up from my prayer, she's looking at me with a face. The last thing I said was like, thank you, God. I wouldn't have imagined in like a million years that I'll be, you know, doing this right now at this time. Because to believe it or not, y'all, most people don't even have passports. Most people don't even travel or whatever. So I'm just super grateful. Like I don't take things for granted. So when I look up, we're holding hands and we're in my kitchen and she has this like look on her face and she's like agitated look on her face. She's like, and I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I would have definitely came to Bali if I would have never met you. I told you my man was broke. I told you he was broke and he was in tens and thousands of dollars worth of debt. I didn't tell you I was broke. And when she said that, I was just, y'all, when I say I was, y'all, lost for words. I was like, oh, okay. And keep in mind, y'all, I'm literally about to depart on a 2-week trip with this girl. I'm not trying to be confrontational. I'm not trying to like, I'm not trying to be in a dispute with anybody. I'm trying to set good vibes before our trip. So of course I could have went back and been like the math wasn't mathing. And a lot of y'all asked y'all in my previous story time and y'all was just like, no, Asia, the math is not mathing. And another thing, every time I see y'all comment, because a few of y'all that's watching this video, y'all met her. Anybody that has came in contact with her, we all have the same general consensus on her. She is weird. So it's just not me. I know you watching this video Morris. So if you see this, it's not just me. Anybody that has came in contact with you, even before I have even publicly mentioned anything about you, everybody says the same exact thing. They knew that you was weird from day one. And when I see those comments, y'all don't understand how vindicated I feel, because at the time when all of this stuff was going on, I kept second guessing myself and I'm just like, I'm tripping. Let me just give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm taking it wrong. Although my better judgment and my discernment was telling me like something was off. But at this point, y'all, we here. So we're literally walking out of my apartment at this point and it's still lingering in my mind. I'm like, wow, this is very ungrateful. Like, this is super ungrateful for you to tell me, oh yeah, if I would have never had this opportunity, I was definitely going to be going to Indonesia. I never told you that I was broke. I told you my man was broke. Mind you, this is the same person that she was just boosting the week before, saying that he paid for her flight, and then we end up finding out she never had the second half of her flight, and she was asking me, can I fund her flight? But who am I to be confrontational and to bring all of that up? I'm like, we going on a trip, good vibes, like it was what it was, y'all. But that was like in the back of my mind, so I'm like, that's already setting a negative precedence for our vacation. But anyway, I still just brush it aside. I get on the elevator with her, we're in the Uber, we're on our way to the airport at this point, and while we're at the airport, she's really wanting to be on like my YouTube channel. She's really wanting to be in my videos. I'm doing my my intro or whatever, and I don't remember what the reason was, but I basically was just like, hey, I wanted to do my intro by myself. Like, I didn't care for you to be in the whatchamacallit. And she felt some type of way about that, like she got offended by that or whatever. And so I did a take two, y'all. I did a take two, and for my girls on Patreon, I am gonna put the take two right here, and she's in the video. She wants to talk and blah blah blah. It was completely fine. Like I said, y'all, I'm thinking positive vibes. I'm going on vacation. I'm going to Asia for 2 weeks. Like, nothing is about to kill my vibe or whatever. So I did a part two, and that's that part two. I don't remember if I ever even edited or put this in the initial vlog, but that's the part two, y'all, of the take two of me putting her in there. So fast forward 24 hours, we finally get to Bali. On the plane, I think she sat like maybe 3 or 4 rows back from me, and when I would go to the bathroom, like I would see her, check on her, like everything was good. Fast forward, we get to Indonesia. We're all hyped, we're excited or whatever, everything. We're at the airport. Our driver comes to pick us up. My bad, y'all, got thirsty. I had to get something to drink. But like I was saying, we get to the Airbnb. Everything is great. The energy is there. Like, I'm excited. She's excited. Once we get to the Airbnb, the first day we got there, it was kind of dark when we got there. So we didn't really notice that the Airbnb was not clean and it was not up to par. The next day when we woke up, that's when we noticed that there was like hair on the sheets. The bathroom was not clean. There was a lot of like mold and lime all in the shower. It just wasn't clean or whatever. And I'm not going to go too much in detail because I do have another story time about what happened with the Airbnb while we couldn't stay at the initial Airbnb. And I do want to point this out, y'all. I knew for a fact, like, by the time the initial Airbnb that I had booked for us, like the villa that I booked for us, it was a suite. We were going to be in the same room, sharing the same bed and everything. But once I started getting the weird vibes, I completely canceled that one. Lost half of my money and everything. And I rebooked this villa. It was a 2-bedroom villa. Own bedroom, own bathrooms, own kitchen area. It had a pool area. It was a really nice little spot, but it was just dirty. So literally, I end up checking out of that Airbnb. This is day 2 in Bali. I end up checking out of that Airbnb, and I literally had to find us somewhere else to stay in 15 minutes. While all of this is going on and I'm calling around and I'm looking for places in the area, because I really liked the area that I was staying in at the time. I think I was staying in like Kuta. It was a really nice area. It felt like a little village, y'all. It was really cute. I wanted to stay in that area, but I just couldn't stay at that house. And if you remember in my previous story time, I told y'all I really wanted to stay at that Airbnb, but the host she basically was saying I was trying to stay somewhere for free, which it really didn't make sense, y'all, because if you book something in advance, it's already paid. Like, y'all got my money, so how am I? it was crazy, y'all. Anyway, I'm talking to another host. I found another little villa place near us, and I'm talking to them, and I'm trying to figure out if they have any availability, because it said that they were available for like that day, the next day, but the third and the 5th day, it didn't show availability online. So I'm talking to them on the phone. The entire time while I'm talking to them, Warris is like in the background. She has an attitude. She's basically trying to convince me to like stay at the current villa. She's just like, how about we just stay here? And it's just like, I don't want to stay here because this is not clean. And she proclaimed that there was blood on her sheets. If there was blood on your sheets, then why would you want to stay there? Like, she was saying her room was so nasty, her room was so dirty, and the shower and the shower downstairs, it had over flooded and everything. Like, why would you want to stay in a spot like that? But she was really trying to convince me that she wanted to stay here. And y'all, this is very important. A lot of this is the meat and potatoes. I need y'all to remember all of this for later, because everything is going to come back full circle. So I end up finding us somewhere else to stay, because like I said, I'm not going to stay nowhere where I'm not comfortable. If I'm not comfortable to lay my head there, I'm not going to stay there. It's simple. So I'm going through all of this with Airbnb, trying to see if I can get my money back. And then at the same time, I called us another ride to the new spot that I found. The new villa that I found, it was like 15 minutes away from the Airbnb. So as we're on our way to this villa, I'm like talking back and forth with Airbnb, letting them know what happened, because the what is it called? The host at that other Airbnb, they were threatening me. They basically told me that they were gonna like pull all my stuff out. I don't want to go too much in detail, because it's a whole nother story time on what happened with the Airbnb host and with Airbnb and all that stuff. So I'm not gonna go too much in detail, but just know I was going through it with them, and I was trying to get all of that straightened out. And we pull up to the new place. At the new place, y'all, the place was beautiful. It was 2 bedrooms. It was a private pool. It had a terrace at the top. It had a beautiful rice field view. It was so beautiful. The only problem with this first place, y'all, was that it had only 1 bathroom. The bathroom was spacious. It was really luxe, and it was a really nice bathroom, y'all. But that's my thing. Like, prior to this trip, I intentionally wanted us to stay somewhere that had 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, just so she can have her own personal space and privacy, and I can have my space. But it was a last minute decision for us to find somewhere else to stay, because the lady was literally threatening us, telling us that she was going to throw our stuff out if we don't come back and get our stuff, that she had a new booking. Like, she was pretty much rushing us and harassing us to come get our stuff. So it was a last minute decision. And I didn't at the time when I booked it, I didn't have a problem with it, because to me the new place was more luxe than the last place. I really liked the place until we get there, y'all. So the second day we were going to Taluha Hawana or something like that. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but basically it's this spot right here. I'm gonna put it right here for my Patreon members. It's a spot where they have like all the different pools, and you can do like the infamous floating breakfast in Bali. We went there that second day. That's where we went. So while we're there, we're getting content, we're taking pictures. At one point we're sitting at the table, y'all, and when we're sitting at the table, I see her type my name in her phone, and she was texting somebody, and I don't know who the person was. I just seen that it was a male name, and I seen that she typed my name or whatever, and she didn't peep that I peeped, because I had on like sunglasses, and I was looking beneath my sunglasses, and I seen that she typed my name, but I couldn't see like the rest of the message. All I seen was the content. I seen it say Asia, and I'm just like, that's weird. Like, that you're like talking about me to a person that I don't even know. Like, it was just weird that I seen my name or whatever. Didn't think anything of it, y'all. I was just like, okay, I peeped. She mentioned my name or whatever. We're at this floating pool place. We're getting pictures in. I'm gonna insert the pictures in like I'm gonna set the scene for y'all over on Patreon. We getting pictures, we taking pictures. She's taking pictures of me. I have on my bikini, and she hands me her phone, and she's like, look and see if you like any of the pictures. As I'm looking to see if I like any of the pictures, y'all, there's another message that popped up, and that same person mentions my name. Like, my name pops up in her text message as I'm looking at the pictures. So I peep it, but I'm like, okay, she having a conversation with me about somebody I don't even know, but it could be innocent. Let me not even look into it. Fast forward, after that, we probably stayed at this floating pool place. I think it's called Talaga. We stayed at Talaga for probably like 4 to 5 hours. It was a vibe. Later on that night, I think what was we doing? I think we had a dinner reservation planned, and then after that, we're gonna finish our night with massages. This first week before my official business trip started, it was literally just for us to get acclimated with Bali and just honestly relax. It was just like a little relaxing vacation for us to get to know each other more before the girls came. So later on, once we leave that place, we're heading to the house. If y'all don't know, the traffic in Indonesia is just terrible or whatever. We end up getting to the house like 2 hours later. Like, it took us forever to get home, and when we finally got home, our reservation, I think we probably had like 30 to 40 minutes to get to our dinner reservation, and Warris was just like, how about we just both take a shower together so we don't waste too much time? And I'm not thinking anything of it, y'all. I'm just like, yeah, that's completely fine. And keep in mind, if I could find a picture or a video, I'll insert it for my girls on Patreon. But this wasn't a normal bathroom. Like, this bathroom was huge. Like, this bathroom, like the shower itself probably was about I want to say the bathroom probably was about 200 square feet. Like, the bathroom was a decent size. It wasn't a small bathroom. It had 2 shower heads. It was a very luxurious bathroom, y'all. So I didn't think anything of it when she suggested, how about we just take showers together so we can make our reservation, because she told me that she takes forever to do her makeup, she takes forever to shower and stuff. So I didn't think nothing of it, y'all. So I'm getting my stuff, I'm getting my Dove, I'm getting my soap, I'm getting my rag and everything, and my facial stuff ready, prepping that, putting on the counter. I get naked and I get in the shower, and this is around the time I started to notice that she was very insecure. Like, she would mention little things about like my weight and how I look, but I ain't really think too much into it. I would just disagree with her. Like, when I first met her, when she was at my house, she put her arm, like she put her hand around my wrist, and she was just like, oh my gosh, like, how much do you weigh? Your wrist is so tiny. Your wrist is so tiny. As if I was a damn baby, y'all. Like, my wrist was abnormal. Like, the size of my wrist fits my body. So I was just like, I weigh 170 and I'm 5'5". She's like, what? 170? You do not give 170. You are small. And if y'all see me in person, I'm gonna post pictures of me right here. Ain't nothing about me small, y'all. I am a solid 170. Like, nothing is small about me. And she's built, let's just say that, y'all. She's built, and she kept comparing herself to me. She's telling me that she weighed over 200 pounds, and I think she was like 5'3" or 5'4", and she's basically like comparing herself to me or whatever. And at the time, I'm just like, oh, you don't look like you weigh that much. Like, you're not sloppy, you're very solid. Like, you don't look that big or whatever. So she just keeps insinuating, like, the whole time. She's like, like, you're so small, I can just swing you, I can just, like, basically using like aggressive terms towards me. I don't recall exactly what she was saying, but she kept saying like, have you ever gotten in a fight before? Because I could, like, girl, I could just swing you. Like, kept saying that. And then I was appalled, y'all, because she's saying this like I'm small. I don't have a small stature. I'm not short, I'm not petite. Like, I don't know why she was saying all of this, y'all, but this is around the time I started to notice that she was very insecure. So we're getting ready for our shower, and as I'm getting in the shower, she's already in the shower, y'all, but as I'm getting in the shower, I'm going like this, like covering my boobs as I'm walking into the shower. And she was just like, oh my gosh, I do that too. I hate my boobs. My boobs are so saggy. Like, they're just so saggy. Like, I just hate them. Like, I hate that. I do that too. It's just an instant for me to do that. And I'm just like, do what? Because I didn't even realize I was doing it, y'all. She was just like, oh, you keep going like this, you keep covering your boobs. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm walking into the shower, and it doesn't have anything to do with insecurity. Like, even when I'm at my house with myself, I have big boobs, y'all. When I walk, my titties, they bounce. They be bouncing. So I be holding them, like I'm securing them or whatever. That's just something I do. If I'm around my man, if I'm around whoever, even with clothes on, sometimes I will hold myself before I'm about to do something, because I have big boobs. So I'm just like, no, I'm not holding myself because I'm insecure about my breasts. And she was just like, oh, what size are you? Like, asking me about what the size of my breasts, and basically just going on a rant talking about how she's really insecure about her boobs. Her boobs touch her belly button, and she started to project that and put that on me. And I'm just like, girl, just because your titty hangs low and they wobble to the floor, they don't shine in the light, or they not platinum or gold, that don't have nothing to do with me. Like, what does that have to do with me? Like, she would say something about herself, and then she would go and be like, have you ever wanted a breast reduction? Like, just start asking me like just arbitrary questions out of nowhere, y'all. So I'm a little annoyed because you're insinuating that I'm insecure because you're insecure, but I ain't really say anything. So I'm in the shower, and I'm facing towards the wall, and she's this way at the other shower head or whatever, and I'm like bathing myself, and I'm bathing, and we doing our business. And I don't really recall what she was saying, but basically she was in the shower just going on a rant about like her insecurities and her body and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm just listening to her confining me about her insecurities. So I get out the shower and I go in my room, I dry off, I put on my PJs. After that, did we even go to dinner that night? I'm trying to think. Y'all, we ended up missing our reservation anyway. We didn't even go to dinner that night. So I ended up putting on my PJs and we're at the table in the kitchen and we're trying to figure out like where we're gonna eat tonight. Like we're looking, Googling spots or whatever. She's on Google, I'm Googling, we're just Googling where we're gonna eat instead. And all of a sudden she comes out of nowhere and she's like, don't take this the wrong way, but why do you have bumps on your nipples? What's that bump around your nipple? Like, why is your nipple like that? And I'm like, huh? You was watching me down that bad in the shower? And she was like, no, I wasn't watching you, but I just, your nipples are big. And I'm highly offended, y'all. And at the same time, I'm kind of freaked out because it's just like, why are you watching me so hard in the shower that you seeing stuff? And it was just really weird, y'all. So I'm just like, first of all, I have a normal nipple. Like, what's wrong with my nipple? Like, I thought it was normal for you to have maybe small little bumps around your areola, like just I don't, not to be TMI, but you know what I mean. I thought it was normal. Like, people have texture areolas, texture nipples. That's just a normal thing. So I'm just like, you weird. At this point, I tell her, I'm like, you weird. Why was you watching me that hard? She's like, no, I'm not watching you. I just noticed. And I'm just like, you're weird. And I'm just like in my phone or whatever, and I'm still like looking up on Google the different restaurants, and we end up going to like this one, I think it was, obviously y'all, we was in Asia, it was an Asian cuisine place and the food was really good. We end up getting dressed and we go there or whatever, and like I said, when things would happen, I would just brush them off because I'm just trying to think like positive vibes. Bitch, I'm in Bali for 2 weeks. You're not gonna ruin my aura, you're not gonna ruin my, you're not gonna ruin my trip or whatever. So when little stuff would happen where I would notice like, okay, that's odd, I would just like brush it off or whatever. And this was like officially, I guess this was officially like day 2. We were ending day 2 on our trip. Fast forward to that following day, y'all, and I'm trying to break these up. I don't want these videos to be like 2-3 hours long, because right now, y'all, the revelation has not happened yet. We still eating our meat and potatoes, okay? So during this this day 2, it's day 3, y'all. It's day 3. This particular day, I think our plan was to go to the no, we didn't go to the monkey sanctuary, or did we? I think we went to oh, this was the particular day. I'm gonna put the pictures in here. This was the day that I did the koi pond. We had this koi pond excursion set up, and then after the koi pond excursion, I think we were going to another like infamous, they have a lot of infinity pools in Bali, like that's popular there. I think we had an appointment at another spot like that. And before we left out, y'all, we're both getting dressed or whatever, and I'm coming to the living room because the living room has like a full body mirror, and I think she's like in her room, but her door was open and her room is like kind of connected to the kitchen. So I'm in there and I'm getting dressed or whatever, and I'm getting dressed, y'all, and I'm asking her like, oh, which purse do you think I should wear? Like, I'm showing her different purses, and I'm like, I want to wear this one, but then again, this one don't really go, but then again, I want to wear this one because I can fit my camera in this. I was vlogging, y'all. I was like, I want to wear this bag because I can fit my camera in it, but then again, this bag don't really go. Then I want to do this one. And then she was just like, how about you you can wear my bag or whatever, as long as you promise to like hold my, I think she wanted me to put, I don't know if it was her fan or it was like something small that she wanted me to put in the bag. She was like, oh girl, you can wear my bag, see if the camera can fit in there. So I grabbed her bag. It was just a silver bag that she had on the table, y'all, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna take this, the camera can fit in there. And I sit the bag on the table, y'all, and maybe like 30 minutes pass by. She gets done doing her makeup, and I'm in the mirror, and I'm taking I'm in the mirror, y'all, and I'm taking pictures. I'm taking pictures in the mirror, and she comes out of her bedroom and she was like, how do you feel? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, how do I feel to be in Indonesia? Like, I feel good. She's like, no, how do you feel with the Balenciaga? I said, what? She's like, yeah, the bag. You're carrying a Balenciaga. How do you feel with the bag? And I looked at the bag, y'all. I picked the bag up and I'm like, oh, girl, I thought this was Shein. And I turned it around and I see the B for Balenciaga on the bag. And I'm just like, I don't feel any type of way. it's a bag. And she's just like, oh no, that bag is blah 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 blah, thousands of dollars. Don't, hey, you did not think that was Balenciaga. You did not think that was Shein. Don't do that. Do not do that. And I'm like, no, I truly did not know that the bag was Balenciaga. I seen the B and I seen the bag, and I thought it was cute, and it went with my outfit and it went with my heels, so I picked it up, y'all. I wore the bag. I didn't really think anything of it. So I immediately kind of got turned off, because I'm like, the question and the way you framed it, all of it was just very like unsettling, y'all. So I stopped taking pictures, and I'm like waiting on her or whatever. I'm doing like last minute touch-ups to my makeup, and she comes out and she was like, you don't want me to take any pictures of you with the bag? You don't want me to take pictures of you? And I'm just like, oh, we'll take pictures like later. And at this point, I had already got the vibe that she was a type of person that was very like, you know, I forgot the term that somebody used, but she's one of those type of people that she puts a lot of values into like luxury brands and stuff, and she thinks that like makes you, like that makes the outfit or whatever. That's the type of vibe I was getting. So I was just like, no, I'll probably take pictures later or whatever. And okay, y'all, we leave. Asia, keep it together, y'all. I'm thinking ahead. So y'all, we leave out or whatever. We go to our first excursion. We get our pictures taken. We enjoy the little koi pond. We have lunch there. We take pictures. After that, we go to, where do we go? We go to, I can't think of the name of the place. Something with a T. It's like a very popular spot in Indonesia. I'm gonna put it right here, y'all. It's the place with like the floating, it's like a beach club basically. We're at this beach club and we're ordering lunch and we're just having a good time, y'all. We drinking or whatever. And we're just having a good time. We're taking pictures. We're taking a whole bunch of pictures. Particular day, I noticed because she was taking majority of the pictures on her phone, because at the time, y'all, she had the newer phone. I think I had the 12 or the 13, and she had the 14 Pro or whatever. Her camera was better than mine. So I would be like, hey girl, can you take pictures of me on your phone? So she was taking the pictures of me on her phone, y'all, and she would give me her phone, and then I would delete the pictures that I didn't want. Yesterday, remember I told y'all she was taking pictures of me. I had deleted the pictures. I had deleted the pictures off her phone, and when I went back to her camera, y'all, those pictures was back on her camera. The pictures I had already deleted off her phone, they were back in her thing or whatever. And I was like, ew, I deleted this. Why you have this picture on here? She's like, oh, I just want to keep some pictures of you. I just want to have some pictures of you to post. And I'm like, post where? And she's just like, I just want to have them, like, not to post on like social media, like just to have. And I'm like, okay, I will send you like public pictures, like pictures that I want you to have or whatever. Like, I don't like the angle, like my back is sitting on top of my back. Like, I don't like this at all. So she was just like, oh, okay, my bad. I didn't know that you were going to take offense to that. And I'm just like, no, I'm not mad, but it's just weird that you still have these pictures or whatever. So fast forward, y'all, I'm deleting pictures, taking pictures. We having a whole photo shoot. That's one thing about her. Like, when it came to pictures, we were both into pictures. She wasn't one of those people that would get mad at you for taking too long with pictures. Like, it wasn't really a big deal when it came to the pictures. We did have fun and we did bond when it came to like getting the pictures and getting the aesthetics and all of that stuff together, because I like taking pictures on vacation and she did too. So we were doing that. Fast forward after that, I think we went to dinner that night. Later on that night, I'm getting all of the content off of her phone that I took, and I'm reviewing the content that she took, because she's my photographer, y'all. So she was doing practice shots and practicing also before the girls got there. That's another reason why we came early, y'all. We wanted to have a moment to like train her and get acclimated with the area that we were going to be in. And we also wanted to give her an opportunity to like learn my camera, because that's another thing. She was supposed to be the photographer, y'all, for the trip, but remember a week or two before this trip, she told me that she planned on buying a camera, and because she lost her job, she was no longer able to afford a camera. And at that time, I brought my business partner's camera, and she was asking me how do I work the camera, because he's usually like the camera guy on my trips. And I was just like, you can text him and ask him like what type of camera it is, what's the best settings, like basically get insight on the camera or whatever. I'm gonna put those screenshots in here or whatever. So later on that night, I think we still on day 2. Yeah, we still on day 2, y'all. Later on that night, I'm going through my camera, I'm looking through footage or whatever, because she keeps asking me like, hey, how am I doing with the footage? And I already told her prior to the trip beginning, I told her I didn't want to give her any feedback until the trip was over. I just wanted to have you do you and you be you. Like, I'm not the type of person that is a dictator. Like, I don't want to dictate over somebody, stand over somebody. I'm not, that's just not me. I prefer you just do you, work how you want to work, and then after the trip we'll talk about how you did when it came to your people skills, the camera quality, like how we work together, like if we were compatible. I wanted to talk about all of that later. So anytime she would try to have me like grade her or tell her, like ask her, because she would constantly ask me like, how am I doing, like am I doing this, did you like this angle, do you like this, I would basically just be like, I told you prior to the trip we're gonna have feedback and all of that stuff. We'll talk about it after the trip, because I just want to see you in your natural habitat. I don't want to critique you and then you switch up and act like a different person because I said something, you know what I mean? I really just want to see you be you. So we were having that conversation, and while we were having that conversation, y'all, I get another text pop up and my name is in her text. Like, someone's texting her, and it's that same number that I seen like 2 days before. So at this point, I couldn't like just click on the text message, y'all, because I'm letting my photos, like they're being airdropped to my phone or whatever. And if I was like to click on it, it would like cancel out of that. So I'm letting all this airdrop, but I had already made up my mind. And my name is Asia, and y'all talk about me, so I'm gonna be nosy. Well, it's not even being nosy because it's about me. So as soon as all of that got done transferring, and it probably took like 15 minutes, y'all, it was a lot of content, I click on the text message, y'all, and I see that it's her uncle. From reading the messages, I see it's her uncle, and I'm like scrolling up to the day before because I remember I saw my name, y'all, and she sent her uncle a picture of me fixing myself in a bikini. I'm wearing a two-piece bikini, and I'm fixing like the boob portion of my top, and she sends that to her uncle. I'm not looking at the camera. I wasn't even aware that she was taking this picture of me, y'all. And her uncle is like, Asia can do it. And I go on and I'm reading, and she's like, yeah, Asia's super hot, Asia's fine or whatever. I didn't get the vibe that she was into me like that. I didn't get the vibe that she was into girls. I didn't get that. Yo, I didn't really get that vibe at all. But we're going to get there. I'm going to go ahead and stop right here because I've already been talking for almost an hour. So I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to catch y'all in part. Wait, where we at? This is part 3. I'm going to catch y'all in part 4. And again, for everybody that, if you a little nosy, I feel like you watching it here is fine. But if you're really, really, really nosy and you really want to feel like you're there and see the background, go ahead and add me on Patreon. I'm gonna link my Patreon down below. But yeah, girl, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Mwah.